What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Unexpert Analysis. I am Carlos Medina, and today I'll be reviewing. It's kind of a late review, and to actually come on this for this film right now, I'm going to say that I am going to start doing recommendations. This film was a recommendation to review, and I love to do recommendations. So you guys let me know what movie you want me to review, and I will do it. Coming up this week, I will do Solo, and then I believe I'll also do Tag after that, the new movie that just came out this weekend. But for this review, it is Deadpool 2, guys. Yes, Deadpool 2. We love the first one. I hope you guys love the first one if you're watching this one. The second one was it just blew me out of the water compared to the first one. Honestly, they're both comparable to each other to me. Honestly, when I first watched it, I was just like, God, Ryan Reynolds in himself is just great for this role, for work with the mouth, especially just Deadpool himself, Wade Wilson. So let's just get right into it, guys. Rotten Tomatoes is at 82% for Deadpool 2. I'm not going to talk too much about the actual plot. I might say some mild spoilers. It might come up, but the movie has been out for about 5 to 4 weeks, so just bear with me on some spoilers. So far, its adjusted gross of from the box office is at $689.5 million, compared to what the first one made. The first one made $783.1 million, and all the whole time it was in theaters. And this one so far, just 4 to 5 weeks, $689.5 million. That's a lot of dinero, guys. So I think they're expecting it to hit into the 900 millions, which kudos. I think it'll be the highest grossing R-rated film, beating actual Deadpool. This is one of my favorite Marvel films, especially the first one. I rewatched the first one probably every day after it came out on Blu-ray. It's a classic, honestly. It's a cult classic, and in itself, it's in its own category, and it's one of my favorite Marvel films. I have a lot of favorite Marvel films, I've probably said, but this is one of them. But let's get into directing, guys. David Leitch is the director for this first one. Tim Miller did leave the directing helm for this one because him and Ryan Reynolds had some differences. Ryan Reynolds wanted it to be more comedic, and Tim Miller wanted more, I don't know what necessarily Tim Miller wanted, but I did know that Ryan Reynolds and him did clash on what they wanted for the movie. But David Leitch, from John Wick, the first one, and he did Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. David Leitch, upon his first directorial debut with John Wick was fucking great. It's the action, the stunts, and everything. Keanu Reeves himself, he's not Keanu Reeves in that film. He's not Keanu, but it's John Wick, and I was kind of excited to hear that he was coming on board to direct this film, but I was also kind of nervous for Tim Miller to leave because of Deadpool 1 being so fucking great. But all in all, this movie was awesome. It was just everything with the cinematics, the CGI, and David Leitch had a lot of say in what was going on, and I think Ryan Reynolds had more in the production compared to him. But in his directorial style, it's great. I was a little scared when I watched the previews because it wasn't what the first one was like, but I didn't have to worry about it when I was watching it. It was just fucking amazing. Major kudos to David Leitch. Yes. Plot and writing, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick did come back as the head writers. Ryan Reynolds did have some writing credits for this film, and then the plot in itself, honestly, it does talk a little bit about the first one. They don't talk too much about, I forget his name, Ajax, right? Ajax, I think so. They make fun of it all the time. I think it's Ajax, if I remember. But I think they don't talk too much about that. But this movie right away grips you. Like it's a very sad part in the beginning. That's what I'm talking about. A little bit of spoilers. There's a sad part in the beginning, but right when the credits roll, the credits of the first scene happens. It's fucking hilarious. It's like a 007-esque opening scene. It's fucking hilarious. You have Deadpool being like a sexy woman, and it's very 007, and I could tell that's what they were going for. And then with the first one, when they had the opening credits with all the names your average cameo, which was Stan Lee, and they, obviously they had a Ryan Reynolds one, and so it was just spot on, and it matched everything from the first one. So, but this movie is a little bit more emotional compared to the first one. It's more, the first one was more of a love story, but this one is actually going more into Wade Wilson's, like mind and his emotions, and so major kudos on that. It did bring a little emotion into a Marvel film. Not that there's never any, but in a Deadpool film, you would never really see that. I would never thought I would see that. So major kudos on the plot and writing for Rhett Reese, Paul Warnick, and Ryan Reynolds. For acting, again, you had the oh so handsome Ryan fucking Reynolds come back as Wade Wilson as Deadpool. You had Josh Brolin play Cable, which he did a fucking amazing job as Cable. I mean, when they said he was going to bring him on, I was like, all right, like we got Josh Brolin in a Marvel film. I mean, he's Thanos, but in another one, he's going to play both Thanos and Cable. So, I mean, I was super excited for that. And then especially him actually coming out and actually kicking ass as Cable. It was phenomenal seeing both Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin on screen. And Josh Brolin is in one of my favorite Westerns, which is No Country for Old Men. And other films that he's been in that I love. But, Marina, might be butchering it, but Marina Baccarin, she played Vanessa again. TJ Miller did come back. New faces, Julian Dominguez. He was in a movie with Taika Waititi, another Marvel director for Thor Ragnarok. Zazie Beetz, she's in Atlanta with Danny Glover, if I'm saying that right. Maybe Danny Glover, yeah, it's Danny Glover. Childish Gambino, she's in it. She's very, she plays Domino. Very lucky girl. I mean, she's in the X-Force. You get to see her kick ass as well with Deadpool. And you see the other X-Force. You see him in a short time, and hopefully we'll see him again. Don't want to get too much into that part, but it's pretty dope how they all come together, and it's fucking hilarious. But for the acting, I mean, 10 out of 10. I mean, it's major kudos to the cast. I mean, they blew me out of the water. I mean, I was laughing the whole time. The humor in itself is just fucking hilarious. Like, I couldn't stop laughing, man. Like, even in the serious parts, it's like, is that serious, or are you guys just like fucking around? So it was just like, I don't know. But acting wise, major kudos, guys. Cinematography, I mean, they did have a bigger budget. The budget for this film was $110 million compared to the $58 million that they had for the first one. So that's a bigger one. Big jump. But for cinematography, CGI, it was there, it was any Marvel film, but compared to the first one, it was better. There was parts in the film where you could tell that, obviously, and they even say it, we've had poor, this is not as big of a Marvel budget compared to other films, so you can definitely tell, but it's honestly in a comedic way. So cinematography is perfect. Music score, Tyler Bates took over for Junkie XL. If you guys know Junkie XL, he's a DJ. He worked under Hans Zimmer for Batman vs Superman, and he also did the first Deadpool. He's done other films as well. I think he did John Wick, if I remember. But Tyler Bates did come back in, and it was about the same as the first one. I loved it. Had the same kind of like kind of sound. So music score wise, it was phenomenal. It was great. It linked up with the film. Amazing. And again, I also got to give the marketing team for Deadpool and Marvel in itself major thumbs up for this film. The marketing for this film was like beyond any other kind of Marvel film. I mean, just major kudos. We got to see more of that in the next Deadpool. Just awesome. So my final actual, thought of this film, go watch it if you haven't seen it. You still have time to go watch it. Please go see it if you're a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. If you're a big fan of the Deadpool, if you're big fans of Marvel in itself, I mean, comedic wise, it's beyond any other level. So Deadpool 2 has my vote as highly recommended to go see. So you guys, just let me know if you guys go see it. If you have seen it, let me know how you guys thought of it. If you guys hated it, if you don't agree with my review, more than welcome. I'd love to hear you guys' side, because there's some people who didn't like it as compared to the first one. So I loved it, and I would love to hear you guys say if you loved it or if you didn't. Also, what is your favorite Marvel film? I believe we've asked that before, but just let me know what's your favorite Marvel film. It could be this film, it could be any other kind of Deadpool film. Honestly, what's your favorite Ryan Reynolds film? Let me know on that. So this is my unexpert analysis on Deadpool 2. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.